Welcome to Out of the Noise, September's energy insight and navigating a collective turning point. I have been saying since the start of the year that September and October will be a pivotal shift in our collective energy. And when I sat with this month's energy, Spirit keeps saying it's a climax for and a crossroad for collective transformation. In 2015, we very much started this collective opening, roadmap, expansion into a shift that won't be upon us till 2030. We're at the halfway point. We're at the midway point of have we done enough work, or what needs to happen in order for more of us to realize or awaken to the narratives, the energy that is in our consciousness. 2030, many of us by now should have or haven't. If you haven't, you might want to Google the UN agenda, and that might change some of your ideas around some of the things that are happening in the collective energy. So we're at that junction point. We're at the crossroads. We're standing there going, we actually need to make a choice right now. And the reality is, this isn't about people fixing problems outside of us. This is about us collectively starting to realize that in order to get to live in the world we want to live in versus what we're being forced to live in, we need to take responsibility. And what does that look like? And how do I use my voice differently? And how do I show up differently? And what can I do? As a medium, you always see consciously things coming into play months and months and years before it actually does. And I remember in 2020, when we were in a pandemic, I collectively said, when the consciousness was shifting and separating itself, I collectively said, what are we truly co-creating? No one wanted to see what or hear what I was saying. They all labeled me because we're all in fear. But the reality is now we are consciously seeing in our physical world what we have truly co-created. And that actually isn't about us blaming anyone. That's about us taking responsibility. There is so much harm that has happened out there and that is happening to people in multiple layers, where some people are ringing up trying to get a doctor, can't see a doctor for 4 weeks. You know, it's multifaceted energy that is happening. And, you know, I was saying 2 years ago, you won't actually see it until there's a resource that you need from the system and you can't get it. Then you will see the reality of what we have created. So September energy, what is happening? We have so much energy going on this month. It is kind of like on steroids. So Venus goes direct. Venus is all about relationships. She's been around us for the last couple of months. And when I say relationships, our relationship with self. Some of us have been doing some deep, deep inner work. Our relationships with our partner, our relationships with our boss, our relationships with our siblings, our relationships with our family, our relationships with our friends. All of it is being shifting and changing and evolving, and it has been for the last 2 years. But it's really about us collectively starting as individuals think about what relationships serve me versus what relationships I'm feeling obligated to be in. Relationships that have been built in the power structure of a patriarchal energy, power and control, these are going to start to shift energetically, massively. People are going to start to see differently what these relationships, how they impact them, their energy fields, them as a person, because we're moving into more of our heart consciousness, more of soul consciousness, where we're wanting soul relationships, a deeper way of being, a deeper connection. We might start to minimize our friendship group. I think many people have been doing this over the last 2 years. I know that I have been. But I feel like it's going to take on a different speed and a different note. When we think of relationships, the relationships that have been built in a structure of power and control, many people are just going to wake up and go, I can't do this anymore. This isn't serving me, and are going to shift. Whether that be jobs, whether that be careers, whether that be leaving marriages, whether that be not talking to family, it's just going to have this breakaway and a breakdown. And it's like I say to people, who says you're having a breakdown? Are you actually having a breakthrough? Same energy, two different things. It's the same with our awakening. When we awaken, can feel like we're having a breakdown, but we're actually having a breakthrough and starting to see things energetically, where we can start to align more to self and more to what truly aligns to our heart, rather than giving our power away, giving our sovereignty away, aligning ourselves to a system rather than to our knowing. Jupiter. Ooh, Jupiter. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Kath and Kim energy, people. Kath and Kim. Jupiter is going to be a front and center stage around peace, wanting peace, needing peace. What does peace and harmony look like? The polar opposite of that is destruction, war, bigger conversations about things that are disgruntled, energy in that. This is going to be a big conversation this month. Peace is what the collective want, but do we have the world leaders that can deliver it? We're also going to see environmental shifts. So last month I said fire, fire, fire. This month it's storms, hurricanes, it's air energy. Air energy is also COVID-19, peeps, just saying. And I know that the Western world is starting to revisit what that looks like as a whole. So that is some of the energy that's coming through this month. But I'm going to talk about America, because America is, I've always said, when America starts to move, the rest of the world will start to move too. America hasn't seen or known for many years that it has been hijacked, is what I want to say. And America, mantra, affirmation is the land of the free. Well, they might not feel so free or freeing. And I think many people are awakening to that conversation en masse. America. This is the climax energy, and we're really building into this energy. And oh yeah, I need to talk about that too. We're really building into this energy. So September the 16th, our world leaders, whatever that looks like, in a political arena are going to take center stage, making pivotal decisions about how and what will shape the global pathway moving forward. We need to realize that this is very much staged and orchestrated. It is a puppeteer event, okay? September the 20th. We're going to start to see this date might start to push people to their limits, testing resilience and determination as individuals and as a collective energy. September the 22nd to the 24th. This is the global equinox. There's always a massive power shift in the global equinox normally, where we move from, night and day energy, spring, winter, summer, vice versa. The United States, America will be center stage. It will be the main act and performance. During this period, we are going to see many people triggered into anger, frustration, and unrest. Expect the unexpected, particularly areas for blackouts, financial crisis, trade, and energy. It will have a ripple effect around the globe. This also could be related to decisions that are going to be made in the UN summit meeting in New York, as it will change the whole energetic landscape. There is so much building up to the month of October. They've got midterms. I know that they're reporting right now, bloody Trump and Biden are equal, whatever you want to believe. That's just another orchestrated, mainstream brainwashing technique. They're going to revisit and relook at some of the C measures. And we always follow, New Zealand always follows other countries' leads because we can't think independently. We don't have the same amount of independent independent critical thinkers out there in our parliament. They'll just do the opt-out button. Our parliament. I'm just going to talk about our parliament. So they've wrapped up for 2023 and we're going to election. So we think. I've always said that parts of New Zealand might be a marlin, and I'm going to stick with that. And I think that this will be Northland and this will be Auckland. I'm going to say this. Elephant in the room. We're going to see more hecklers over the next months as their political campaign ramps up to another layer. They're going to say they're a small minority. There's just a small little minority group, just a tiny little group over here, people just wanting to cause trouble. But through that, there's going to be threats. Is it safe for us to campaign? Is it this? Is it that? Blah, blah, blah. Honk, honk. Here we go. It is a conversation for a bigger narrative. It is a conversation to gaslight us. So we feel sorry for them. Here's the thing, black and white. When you want to suppress people, what do? You take away their voice. You take away their ability to connect. You label them. You separate them. You gaslight them, and it's a hoax separation. We have falled for that as a collective energy for so long. That's just been the current narrative through generations and years, that the reality is, I feel humanity is waking up to that narrative. We have been divided through hoax separation of race, vaccine status, ideology around our sex. Am I a woman? Multiple facets. Multiple facets. This is to keep their shitty narrative going. Say it for what it is. If the world really truly wants to evolve to 5D consciousness, you have to start living outside your three lower chakras and start moving into your heart chakra. Think about collectively your root chakra. Your root chakra is food, security, and housing. What is under attack? Why you couldn't even have water to fight the fire? Food, well, we're having food shortages, and Housing, well, we're going to have so many displaced people. Solar plexus. Solar plexus is your identity and your gender. Am I a woman? Because I think I'm a woman, but maybe I'm no longer a woman. Maybe I'm something else. Not sure. Am I a woman? I think I'm a woman. This is everything. Our lower three chakras are under attack to keep us limited in our thinking and limited in our resources. If we truly want to evolve as a collective consciousness, we need to evolve and working past that and seeing past those current narratives and stepping into our heart chakra and starting to be in community and be in harmony with humanity differently. What that looks like, that's us moving into new earth energy. That's us moving into the new vibration that's actually already here. We're just too scared to commit to it. When we commit to it, anything is possible, everything is unlimited, and all of our needs will be met. It's really that simple. Is it easy to hold that vibration consistently? No. And that's why we have to anchor more light into the earth, anchor more of our being, use our voices differently, discern our energy, hold ourselves to what we feel is right rather than voting or feeling and reacting from a scared capacity, from a limited resource capacity. Here's another thing I just wanted to share. If we don't start to take ownership of our mistakes, it's our children's children that are going to have to fix these problems, and it's going to be harder. And so this is where, for us as a collective consciousness, the responsibility starts with us. And as more of the narrative is going to be running through mainstream on mass programming and fear, I want to say to you, when you get really comfortable with your intuition and really sit in self and be more embodied in your body rather than running from what you're feeling, your body will consistently give you feedback. You know, I get goosebumps and itchy head, and I call it truth bumps. When I'm watching something and I go, yep, there's the truth bump, that's a lie, boom. Don't even need to participate. When we have to anchor more light, we need to be more connected to our feelings and be more embodied in our bodies, more bodied in soul. Have a fabulous day, people, and let's enjoy the circus play out.